Welcome to Notebook Nuggets. You know how some books just seem to stick around, offering insights that feel relevant no matter what's going on?
Absolutely. They just have that timeless quality.
Well, today we're taking a deep dive into one of those. Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Ah, classic. Definitely one that comes up again and again.
Our mission here is really to pull out the core principles, the real nuggets of wisdom, so you can grasp these powerful ideas quickly and maybe see how they might apply to your own life.
Good plan. We've looked at summaries, analyses, things that really break down what Covey was getting at.
And we want to share those key insights with you.
That's right. And what's fascinating about Covey's framework, I think, is that it's built on what he called a character ethic.
Character ethic. What does that mean exactly?
It means focusing on fundamental principles like fairness, integrity, honesty. Not just, quick fixes or personality tricks.
Ah, okay. Deeper stuff.
Exactly. And the journey he lays out, it progresses. It goes from achieving independence, like self-mastery, to building interdependence in your relationships.
Right. From me to we, in a way.
Sort of, yeah. And for anyone looking to gain knowledge efficiently, find those aha moments. Well, this deep dive is designed for exactly that.
We're aiming to give you a solid understanding of why these habits have resonated with so many people seeking real, lasting effectiveness.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's unpack this, starting with habit 1. Be proactive.
The foundation, really.
At its heart, this is about recognizing that you have the power to choose your response to whatever life throws your way.
That space between stimulus and response.
Yeah.
He talks about that space.
Yeah, that little gap where your freedom lies.
And the summaries really highlight a compelling contrast here.
Oh, like what?
Well, imagine two colleagues facing similar frustrations at work.
Yeah.
Maybe it's management issues or salary concerns, something like that.
Okay, pretty common scenario.
Right. One person, being proactive, identifies what they can do. Maybe learn new skills, network, actively look for new opportunities.
Taking action.
Exactly. The other person, though, remains reactive. They focus on blaming the company, feeling stuck, complaining about things they can't change.
I see. It really underscores the difference, doesn't it?
It really does.
So the proactive person is focusing their energy on their circle of influence, the things they can actually control.
That's the key phrase, circle of influence.
While the reactive person is kind of stuck in their circle of concern, just worrying about things they can't directly impact.
Right, and wasting energy there.
And what's really key here, as the summaries point out, is that proactivity starts with self-awareness.
Knowing yourself.
It's that ability to step back from your feelings in a situation and choose your response based on your values, not just your immediate emotions or mood.
Yeah, that's crucial, not just reacting emotionally.
It's like we have this unique ability to write new programs for ourselves, as one summary put it.
I like that phrasing.
Letting our values guide us, not just our feelings dictating everything.
So once you recognize that power of choice, that proactivity,
Then what?
well, the next logical step, as Covey outlines it, is to direct that power intentionally.
Ah.
And that leads us right into habit 2. Begin with the end in mind.
Okay. So know where you're going before you start.
Exactly. It's not just about setting vague goals. It's about having a really clear vision of your desired outcomes before you even take action.
Like designing the blueprint before building the house?
Precisely. It's the principle that everything is created twice, first in your mind, then in the real world. Mental creation, then physical creation.
One of the most powerful exercises the summaries mentioned for this is, well, it's imagining your own funeral.
Yeah, that one always gets people's attention. Sounds a bit intense, maybe.
It does, but think about it. What would you want the important people in your life to say about you?
What legacy do you want to leave?
What kind of impact do you want to have made? This exercise, it really forces you to define your core values, your long-term aspirations.
It gives you that clear direction for your life, like a compass.
Yeah, it's like having a personal mission statement, almost. A kind of constitution that guides your daily decisions.
And helps make sure you're moving towards what truly matters to you.
Right, not just drifting along.
And the summaries draw an interesting distinction here, too, between leadership and management.
Okay, how so?
Leadership is about having that end in mind. It's envisioning the path, deciding which jungle to clear.
Seeing the big picture.
Right. Management, on the other hand, is more about the day-to-day execution. It's like sharpening the machete to clear that path efficiently.
Ah, I see. So you need both.
Absolutely. Both are crucial for true effectiveness. But it all starts with that clear vision, that leadership piece.
Makes sense.
What's also insightful is the emphasis on centering your life, not on things that change, like your job or money or even specific relationships.
But on what then?
On principles. Things like integrity, service, fairness, quality. These things are constant.
They don't change with the circumstances.
Exactly. They provide a much more stable foundation for your security, your guidance, your sense of direction.
Okay, that's deep. Centering on principles.
It really is. It gives you that solid core.
All right, so now that you have that end in mind, that direction, habit 3 is all about actually getting there.
Right. Execution time.
It's called put first things first.
This is where effective self-management comes into play. Making sure you're prioritizing the important stuff over just the urgent demands clamoring for your attention.
The tyranny of the urgent, as they say.
Precisely. And the summaries discuss the time management matrix, which is a really helpful tool for thinking about this.
Ah, yes, the 4 quadrants. I remember that.
Exactly. It helps you categorize your tasks. You've got urgent and important.
Crises, deadlines, quadrant 1.
Right. That not urgent, but important.
This is the good stuff, right?
Right.
Planning, relationship building, prevention, quadrant 2.
That's the key one. Then you have urgent, but not important.
Interruptions, some meetings, maybe, quadrant 3.
Often, yeah. Busy work that feels urgent. And finally, not urgent and not important.
Time wasters, quadrant 4.
Exactly. Now, highly effective people, as the summaries emphasize, consciously focus most of their energy on quadrant 2.
You're not urgent, but important.
Yes. Because these are the activities that contribute to your long-term success and personal growth. Planning, building meaningful relationships, learning new skills, taking care of your well-being, prevention.
If you neglect quadrant 2,
You'll likely find yourself constantly reacting, just putting out fires in quadrant 1, always feeling behind.
stuck in crisis mode. Got it.
And to really make this happen, to put first things first, the concept of delegation becomes really important.
Ah, right. You can't do everything yourself.
Nope. And the summaries contrast 2 types. There's gopher delegation, basically just telling someone exactly what to do and how to do it, micromanaging almost. Then there's stewardship delegation. This is much more focused on the desired results.
So you explain the what and the why, but not necessarily the how.
Exactly. You give people clear expectations, resources, accountability, but you let them figure out the best way to get there. You trust them.
That sounds more empowering.
It is. The example in one summary about Covey's son being responsible for the lawn, it really highlights the power of giving someone ownership, that's stewardship.
Right, letting him manage the outcome, not just follow instructions.
It builds capability and frees you up for higher leverage activities.
Makes sense. Okay, so those first 3 habits seem very internal, focused on self-mastery.
They are. Covey calls them the habits of private victory, moving from dependence to independence.
Right, and now we move outward.
Exactly. Now we move into interacting with others, the habits of public victory. And that starts with habit 4, think win-win.
Win-win. Okay, this sounds familiar.
It's about adopting what's described as an abundance mindset, believing there's plenty out there for everyone,
As
opposed to a scarcity mindset, where you feel like life is a zero-sum game. If someone else gets something, like a piece of pie, that means there's less for you.
competition is everything.
Right. Win-win seeks mutual benefit in all interactions.
The summaries must have examples for this one.
Oh, yeah. A great illustration is 2 authors who actively recommend each other's books to their audiences.
Ah, yeah, I've seen that. Both benefit.
Absolutely. It's a clear win-win. Both authors reach a wider readership. It makes you think, though,
About what?
about how much of our society can be structured around win-lose scenarios. Education, sports, sometimes even law.
Where someone has to win and someone else has to lose.
Exactly. And the summary suggests that this kind of thinking can really hinder collaboration and long-term success. It creates rivals, not partners.
So how do you actually achieve win-win? Is it just about being nice?
Not just nice.
Well,
It requires, as the summaries point out, a balance. A balance between courage and consideration.
courage and consideration.
Yeah, you need the courage to stand up for your own needs and desires, to express what you want.
Okay, assertiveness.
Right. But you also need the consideration to understand and value the needs and desires of the other person.
Empathy.
Exactly. That balance, that maturity
Yeah.
is key to creating truly sustainable, mutually beneficial agreements. It's not win-lose, lose-win, or even just compromise sometimes. It's finding that third alternative.
Okay, win-win requires both courage and consideration. Got it. What's next?
Well, if you want to create win-win solutions, you really need to understand the other person first. Which brings us to habit 5.
Seek first to understand, then to be understood.
Yes. This is the principle of empathic listening.
Empathic listening, so really listening from their perspective.
Precisely. Really making an effort to understand someone else's perspective, their feelings, their frame of reference, before you jump in and try to get your own point across or give advice.
That sounds hard. Most people listen waiting for their turn to talk.
It is hard. The summaries emphasize that the natural tendency for most people is to listen with the intent to reply.
Yeah, we're often formulating our response while the other person is still talking, or we filter everything through our own experience.
Right. We listen autobiographically, evaluating, probing, advising, interpreting based on our own lives.
Instead of just listening.
Instead of just truly listening to understand. Truly effective communication requires flipping that, taking the time to really hear and understand the other person's point of view, even if you don't agree with it.
Before you try to explain your own side, diagnose before you prescribe.
Exactly. And as one summary highlighted, people aren't really motivated by having their needs satisfied as much as by feeling understood and validated.
Oh, that's interesting. The feeling of being understood is key.
It's incredibly powerful. Think about those times you felt like someone just wasn't getting... It's frustrating, right? It creates blocks.
Totally. You just shut down or get defensive.
And the summaries touch on the Greek philosophy here too. Ethos, pathos, and logos.
Okay, refresh my memory.
Ethos is your personal credibility, your character, the trust people have in you. Pathos is the empathic side, feeling, understanding the emotions involved. And logos is the logic, the reasoning part of your presentation.
Right.
Covey argues, and the summaries echo this, that to communicate effectively, you need to start with ethos and pathos. Build trust, show understanding. Then you can effectively present your logic, your logos.
Seek first to understand. Build that empathic connection. Then present your case.
You got it. Makes the other person much more receptive.
Okay. That flows naturally into collaboration then.
Absolutely. Now we're moving towards greater collaboration with habit 6, synergize.
Synergy. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
That's the essence of it. It's about valuing differences in perspective, experience, opinion, and fostering creative cooperation. It's not just teamwork, it's creative teamwork.
So 1 + 1 = 3 or 10 or 100.
Something like that. It's about finding solutions together that are better than what anyone could have come up with alone.
What's fascinating is how synergy seems to build on all the previous habits.
It really does. You need that win-win mindset from habit 4, right?
Yeah, you can't synergize if you're trying to beat the other person.
Exactly. And you need the ability to understand others deeply from habit 5.
To appreciate those different perspectives.
Right. And underpinning it all is a foundation of trust built through character and empathic communication. High trust is essential for real synergy.
Are there examples of this?
Well, the summaries use the example of geese flying in formation. By working together, flapping in that V, they create uplift for each other and can fly much further, much more efficiently than they could alone.
Nature's synergy.
Yeah. And in the human world, the relationship between, say, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak is often cited. Very different people, different skills.
But together they created something revolutionary.
That's synergy. Recognizing and valuing the unique contributions each person brings. It's not just about compromise where everyone gives a little up. It's about finding those third alternatives that are genuinely better for everyone involved.
Valuing differences, not just tolerating them.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, so we've gone from independence to interdependence. What's left?
The final habit ties it all together and makes it sustainable. Habit 7, sharpen the saw.
Sharpen the saw, like keeping your tools in good shape.
Exactly. This habit is all about continuous self-renewal. Taking time to maintain and enhance the greatest asset you have, which is you.
In what ways?
Covey breaks it down into 4 dimensions: physical exercise, nutrition, stress management, mental reading, learning, planning, writing, emotional social service, empathy, synergy, security through relationships, and spiritual clarifying values, study, meditation, connecting with nature.
So renewing body, mind, heart, and spirit.
Precisely. It's
Yeah.
about maintaining and increasing your production capability, your ability to produce results effectively over the long term.
The analogy used in the summaries is pretty stark, isn't it? The person sawing wood,
Yeah, the woodcutter who's too busy sawing to take the time to sharpen the saw blade.
and eventually they become less and less effective, working harder but accomplishing less.
It's so powerful because it illustrates how counterproductive neglecting self-care can be. You might feel like you don't have time to exercise or read or nurture your relationships when you're overwhelmed.
But that's exactly when you need it most.
Absolutely. Neglecting these areas ultimately undermines your effectiveness, your energy, your resilience in the long run. Investing time to sharpen the saw isn't a luxury. It's essential for sustained success, balance, and well-being.
It keeps the other 6 habits working properly.
It does. It's the habit that makes all the others possible.
Wow. Okay. So as you can see, these 7 habits are really interconnected, aren't they?
Definitely. They build upon each other.
They guide you from that personal independence, mastering yourself with habits 1, 2, and 3,
The private victory.
to effective interdependence with others through habits 4, 5, and 6.
The public victory.
And it's all supported by a commitment to continuous growth and renewal with habit 7.
A really comprehensive framework.
Yeah. From taking control of your responses to envisioning your future, prioritizing what matters most, seeking mutual benefit, understanding others deeply, collaborating effectively, and consistently investing in yourself. These habits really do offer a powerful path.
A path towards a more effective and ultimately more fulfilling life.
Well, we hope this deep dive has given you some valuable insights, maybe sparked some of those aha moments you're looking for.
Food for thought, definitely.
Now, maybe think about which of these habits resonates most with you right now. Where might you start?
Yeah, what's one small step you could perhaps take today or this week to start applying even just one of these principles in your own life?
It's just the beginning of exploring these ideas, really, but hopefully a useful starting point.